Okay, so Mary did a recent interview on a podcast, and Christine, the topic is brought up. Okay, so Mary wants us to believe that she's reinvented herself, right? She's gone from, I guess, the messy sister wife to this enlightened life coach. That's cute. We love it. But when you actually listen to what she's saying, when you actually read in between the words, which we're going to go over today, I find that it's less growth and more of like an Instagram caption with a filter. I feel like she's slapping motivational quote on something, calling it, um, something to be worthy of. And then suddenly you're supposed to just pretend that all of her past bad behavior never happened. Um, Sorry, girl, but Christine's memoir reads like trauma and right now, yours does not. So I'm gonna call BS. We're gonna go over it all. You're gonna hear why I'm saying what I'm saying because I am reading in between the lines. We're gonna go in between those lines, and we need to discuss this interview because I think the whole thing was a damn mess. Hey guys, welcome back to the Mess with IQ. We are back for another show. Thank you so much. Hello, I see everyone in chat. IQ, where are you? I am right here, girl. Here I am. Here I am. Welcome. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys have heard the recent interview. There's a couple of snippets that we're going to be going over, but tonight I want to focus on one in particular that just irked the hell out of me, okay? And, you know, on paper, is Mary changing? On paper, it seems so. The woman, we know that she went through a lot. She's had some rough years. She's learned to value herself, and we love that. She is now sharing her wisdom with the world. It sounds inspiring, right? It is. It sounds and it is inspiring. That is an inspiring story. However, if you listen to her latest interviews, I'm starting to notice a pattern, and I want to know if you guys do too. It's a very careful pattern. Um, And it's very interesting because even though it sounds wise, what's interesting is it's wise, it's evolved, but it's dodging any real accountability pattern. We're going to go over it. She's polished, she's controlled, um, and she's staged. But let's be real. I just feel like maybe she's being a little too proud of the spin that she's putting on her past because she's not acknowledging it at all. In a recent podcast, we're going to go over it. She was asked about Christine's memoir. Okay. And I want to talk about what she said. Let's just play it. And I want you to digest it. Before I give my thoughts, I want you guys to listen to it and chat. I want to know what you think. If you think everything is fine, so be it. Let's listen and then we will discuss. Okay. Hold on. It's just a little snippet here. Let's listen to this. Okay.
Going to read it? Any desire to read it?
I have not read it, and I probably won't. I can't say that I lived it with her because my life experience was different than her life experience because of our different life experiences, even though they were in the same life. Many of the things that she's, I'm sure, talking about, we had the same history. We lived the same experiences. Our perspectives are completely different. And so what she's writing about is her perspective on it. And it's 100% valid to her. You know what I mean? So I don't want to read it and be upset potentially at some of the things and be like, well, wait a second, that's not what happened, because that wouldn't be fair. Because in my perspective, it happened different, or maybe there was a little bit of a shift or whatever, right?
So before we go on, chat, do you guys see anything at all? Maybe it's just me. Did you guys pick up on anything? Let me know. Oh my gosh. Spicy Player says, first live since baby was born. Sorry, y'all. I'm a spam. Every thought I have. Spicy, congratulations on the baby. That's amazing. Congratulations. Glad to see you. It's good to see you in chat. Hopefully some of those sleepless nights are getting a little bit better. Hopefully you're getting caught up on your sleep, girl. True. Hannah said, Mary, go write your own book already. True. Okay. So here are my thoughts. Okay. This is exactly what I think. She's saying how their life experiences were different, right? Hold up, Mary. Hold up. Hold up 1 second. You guys literally lived in the same house. It was the same events. It was the same chaos, girl. And somehow Mary's experience is so different that it can't even touch Christine's. Mary, that's not growth, girl. That is deflection with the side of performative self-righteousness to me. And it's so interesting because you're going to hear it. She repeats this view over and over and over again. But here's the thing. She's never saying, yeah, you know what? Maybe I was difficult to live with. There's no remorse. There's no reflection. It's just this very neat little package called Mary's experience is valid. And yeah, yours is too, Christine, but that's your truth, but mine is different. Excuse me? Excuse me? Let's keep going because this is what's really irking me. And I think that this is subtle shade. I want to know what you guys think. Okay, let's keep going.
In this conversation that you guys are having with me right now, you're going to walk away from this conversation, even though we're both in it, with a different perspective, right? You're going to remember different key points because that's what's important to you about it. And something else is going to be different and important to me about it. So when she and I had these experiences that were the same, we took something different from the experience. So it's valid for her, 100% valid for her.
Mary, is this?
So let me just pause this for a second. Okay. So Mary, let's pause. Why is she doing this? Psychologically, when a person's identity is being tied to this good or worthy, admitting wrongdoing, I feel like can be terrifying. And it feels like Mary just doesn't want to go there. And I feel like this is where deflection is coming in. It's by framing it as different perspectives instead of taking accountability for your actions. I don't know. Is that avoiding this like cognitive dissonance? That uncomfortable feeling when reality is not matching the self-image that you want to project? And I can understand that. Maybe because every one of her, basically, not everyone, but most of her other adult family nucleus, as well as a lot of the adult children, are coming out saying how horrible she was as a person and how horrible she was to live with. I can see that being a touchy subject for her, which is probably why she wants to reinvent herself with the whole worthy up thing, because where else are you going to go? Right? That is not matching her self-image that she wants. She wants to portray that she's evolved and she's gotten better. Great. We love that. But if you're basically saying, well, she had her truth and I have mine, that's defensiveness. That's being protective. And in my opinion, that's being a little bit manipulative because let's be honest, framing your past as just a different perspective while others are consistently describing you as difficult, as horrible to be around, that ends up being a pattern, girl, that you need to think about. It's one thing if you have a perspective and someone else doesn't. When the whole village is screaming that you are an issue, that's not just self-preservation, and that's something that you need to acknowledge. And that's not being worthy up or whatever. Worthy up means you acknowledge other people's pain, right? And that's what's frustrating me about this. And the interviewers were giving her kudos, like, oh my gosh, you're such a great person for not attacking anyone. Well, like that's like someone bad in history. I don't even want to say, like, just someone that's had a horrible just been horrible to other people, just suddenly decides after 20, 30 years that they're going to be a better person. And then the other people that have had trauma because of them speak out and say you were horrible. But that original person isn't lashing back out and you're going to give them kudos. Why? When the other people are finally voicing their opinion, it doesn't make any sense. So anyway, I just want to go over. It's just so funny how Mary's saying, well, that's my perspective and this is Christine's. No, girl, it's pretty much your entire family. So let's just go over this again. This was everyone hates Meg, aka Meri, because back in the day, Meri very much reminded me of Meg from Family Guy. Anyway, so let's just play this and then I just need to put everything into perspective. All right, here we go.
We really did struggle.
How did you guys butt heads? Was it over raising children? Was it over the basic how to run the household?
Everything.
I mean, like,
It was everything.
I would have an ulcer, stomach pain.
Anything, any little thing, the wrong loaf of bread, the wrong nylons.
It was like which laundry or which detergent should we use?
We in our family we use, and I can do an advertisement here for you. This dish detergent.
The kitchen was an issue when we all shared the same kitchen.
Yeah.
Should you put oranges in the fridge or not?
Just things.
At what time we cooked, what we cooked.
There was everything. It was like everything.
If we didn't clean up well enough, oh my gosh, everything had to be perfect. It was just very, very stressful.
Seriously, guys, seriously. This is not just Christine's story. Meri being like, well, that's her perspective and I respect it. No. It's called the truth. Let's stop with this BS word. Acknowledge that you hurt people. This is multiple people. This is other wives. This is the kids. This is Cody himself. Have consistently described Meri as controlling, mean, difficult to be around, right? But this shiny, worthy up persona, she's sidestepping it all. Like this matador dodging a bull. Yes, it's impressive if it weren't so frustrating. And she's built this narrative that she's this evolved, reflective, kind woman. And that's great. But your actions need to also equal that. And I don't know. It's irking me, guys. That her interview is 1000% irking me. Let's see. Melinda said, I think she's totally undervalued Christine. Meri is not deprogrammed yet. Very well could be the case, Melinda. I mean, good point. And that's the other thing. You worthying up is also not dragging Christine down. And what's so interesting is in this interview, it's like she talks about how she kind of still has love for Cody. They fight sometimes, but it's still there. But then with Christine, I don't know. There's no support. And I get it. Christine wants nothing to do with her, but that's for a reason. I don't know. That's my shoe said. She's Cody in female form. That's my truth. I mean, girl, my truth is not far off from that. It's really not. Kathy said, Meri, just say Kotex was a douche. And that's the thing. It's she can do that with Christine, but she can't do that with Cody still. And it's just frustrating. It's frustrating. It really is. Okay, so let's just listen to a little bit more. Hold on.
A part of your growth. Do you think anyway 19, 20, 21, 25, even 30-year-old Meri would be able to have a conversation about the guy she just divorced? And you were saying very kind things. He's not a bad guy. I believe he loved me. You didn't have a negative word to say. Christine now writing a book in which she is expected to certainly bash you in some way, form, or fashion, but you even saying now that, you know what, that is her take, her perspective, and I respect it. What is that? And how can other people get there? Because I didn't know you before, but that sounds like a woman who has grown.
No, it sounds like you're brown nosing. Interviewer. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you are brown nosing because you don't know everything. This woman has never acknowledged anyone else's pain. We're talking a lot of people. Can we just go over this again? Hold on. Here's Meri just being non-supportive as usual.
Cody was not just.
I didn't try and be about anything. It's emotion.
This is not just emotions. That response from Cody was not just emotion. That response from Cody was real. And he said some things he probably has been holding in for a long time. I'm glad he said it.
Okay, that's one. That's number one.
I feel like I better protect myself. Sorry that you felt like that.
Oh, so supportive. So supportive. I guess that's just our perspective, guys. Meri has her own perspective and we have our own, right? Or what about this one?
So what are you guys gonna get then?
Oh no.
New beginnings.
I'll
show you.
So here it is. It's new beginnings. I think it's beautiful.
You know what? Maybe what I'll do now is every guy I date, I'll tattoo his name on my leg.
It's not funny. Like it's not funny. No wonder Christine is like, you are devastating to be around because you just talk crap. You know, psychologically, that's why this is fascinating, because it's like she's navigating internal validation versus her exterior, which the two are not, the two don't mesh well. They just don't. They just don't. I understand her intention, but her actions do not speak it. They just don't. It's like she wants to be this worthy person introspectively, but reflective, it's not happening. She's tiptoeing around the evidence like that she was never this person. And you know what, guys? Like, real growth is messy. It is. Real growth includes things like apology, something that for whatever reason Cody nor Meri can give. Repair takes time. It's not your truth and my truth. It's, you know what? I was a complete asshole. I was difficult to live with. I did do A, B, and C wrong. It's not you have your truth and I have mine. That's bull. It's bull. So you can stick a price tag on it. You could sell it at retreats. You could call it whatever you want to call it. But it's missing grit. It's missing accountability. And these moments of when people actually have genuine reckoning, that is growth that's worthy of admiring. It just is. Once again, guys, can I remind you about this one? Hold on. Let me just play this because I added this from an old clip, but it's important. This is important. Hold on.
It wasn't about Cody. It was about Meri. Madison has only given Meri this exact label. And actually, now that I think about it, not just Maddie, but also Peyton, and honestly, McKelty has in the past as well. But also in Peyton's interview on a podcast last year, he referenced how Meri treated them growing up. He said, abrasive and kind of mean are not strong enough words. They are not aggressive enough words. Meri was not nice. Abrasive is not enough of a word to explain what Meri was to a few of us specifically. And he was asked further, like, was this just done through words? And he basically said that when she got upset, the verbal stopped existing.
So when you hear the stories of, like, you know, Meri being abrasive and when you guys were in the big giant house together in Utah, right? Like, so that's all true, that Meri was like kind of just mean.
I'm again, so not for sister-wise reasons, but out of respect for my mother reasons. I'm not going to go into details, but abrasive and kind of mean are not strong enough words. They are not aggressive enough words.
Okay, before we go on, all I want to say is this. Is this another, do you think that this, because this is basically along the same lines, would it be appropriate for Meri to once again say, well, you know what, Peyton has his truth and his perspective, but I see it differently and I have mine. I get it. Like I said, if it is a one-on-one situation, it is a he said versus she said. I can see that. There's three sides to every story, right? Yours, mine, and the truth. But what if it's my side of the story versus an entire village? What if every single person is pretty much mirroring one truth and mine's is just that I have a different perspective? No, girl. You need to reassess. You need to call growth, and you need to have some apologies in there. You need to have more reflection instead of that. That's what is pissing me off about that. And I think that's why the interview was shady as hell towards Christine. Okay, let's keep going. Sorry for my rant, but it really is pissing me off.
From what, so there's definitely things I can't say, but when I've like gone into thorough detail with people, blew their mind. Oh yeah, and I'm definitely for saying that alone, I'm definitely gonna get flack.
So just as a refresher, in 2019, Madison had enough with Mary's antics, and she decided to write about her emotions, about how she's felt about Meri growing up.
Forever ago, Madison had a Twitter. I'm sure that most of you know, like, a few things about Madison's Twitter, but some things were tweeted about by Madison, and then, like, I believe it was within the same day she deleted the tweets that she had tweeted, and she deleted Twitter entirely. But certain things were still said, and certain things were still seen by a lot.
And they were some pretty explosive tweets, so let's just read them.
Try being scared of someone your whole effing life, and she plays like she's the one who's hurting. You can't subtweet and not expect retaliation. Loyalty goes to those who were always kind. There is nothing like dealing with a human your whole life and finally having the freedom to not have anything to do with her.
I don't know. It just seems like if we were to align the two, it's going to line up more with one than the other. Do you think Maddie's referencing Meri or Cody? Do you agree with me and think that she's talking about Meri? Or do you disagree and think that she's talking about...
So anyway, so that was basically just a refresher as far as everything that this woman is saying. Well, you know, I wasn't an a-hole. It's just their perspective. Now, Meri, that's bull. Melinda said, no, I already said that one, but that's a good one. I need to leave that up there. Let me, hold on. Here we go. Vicky said, as frustrating as Meri can be, I still think she's still emotionally attached to Cody. It's really sad. Agreed, girl. Vicky, ding, ding, ding. I agree. Put a 1 in the chat if you agree with Vicky, because actually, let me put a 1 because I do. By the way, can you guys please like the video? I would so appreciate it. Thumbs up the video. And put a 1 in the chat for Vicky if you agree. What else? Megan says, and there is a reason Mykelti won't have her around. Exactly. That I'm telling you, pattern. And Meri, if you don't understand that by now, like, we don't want to hear that this is my perspective or yours. I would have a lot more respect for you with your worthy up if you actually did and apologized for your abhorrent behavior. And the reason that I believe everyone else over you is because this is now 1 versus like 15 people. Okay. Sorry, but math is mathing for me. So that is where I align. Okay. So Becky said, I wish just for once that she would start treating Cody and Robin the way that she has always treated Janelle and Christine and vice versa. Right? Wouldn't that be nice? Even in this interview, she's like shading Christine, but she's kind of like she's not out because I think she knows that the fans would go livid if she completely defended Cody, so she's softballing it, but still in there she's like, well, you know, we fight, but we're still in each other's lives, but we can't be together. Like, well, okay, then be that respectful with Christine. Like, I don't know, it's just irritating. Peach said, this makes me not like Meri out of everything. Her defending the despicable behavior of Cody and acting like it was justified since it was her agenda. Yeah, if Cody hadn't left her, who knows? Who knows where things would be at this point, right? And then Peach again, I can't imagine a rant about kitchen counters for Meri. It just never ends. I mean, that would be a nightmare. This would be a nightmare for me being around this woman, for my children, myself. Like no, ma'am, no. Okay, what else are you saying? Let's see. Darlene, thank you for this $2 super chat. You know what we haven't done in forever, Darlene? Hold on. Let's do. I don't even know what
I don't think that I'm up for any criticism.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Oh man, that was an oldie but goodie. Thank you, Darlene, for the super chat. Darlene said, Meri, worthy up. Haha, not. She is fake. I mean, I'm not a fan. You guys know this. I'm not a fan. And there's a couple of things that would make me a fan, and one of them would be worthying up enough to actually apologize and acknowledge all the pain and the hurt instead of basically saying it didn't exist, but you're a better person now. Yes, that does irk the crap out of me. It really does. Thank you, Darlene. I appreciate it. Peach said, uh-oh, don't you dare. There we go. Sorry, my mouse was, I thought my mouse conked out on me. Peach said, I don't hate Meri. I am more disappointed in her after all this time. Yeah, I don't think any of us hate her. I mean, I don't like her, but I don't hate her. Darlene is saying facts. Maggie said, Meri likes to claim she's direct, but she's not honest. Yeah, and I don't know if she's lying to herself. There's no way. There's no way, because if you really did do the work and you really are worthying up, then you would respect other people's opinions. And even if you don't respect one, after the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th person comes to you and says the exact same things, you need to take that as weight, and that shouldn't be your perspective anymore. You should probably move over to reason, and you shouldn't have that perspective because obviously your perspective is wrong. Kathy said Meri needs to stop blocking for Cody. I mean, yeah. Basically. It's just it's irritating. I think there's a little bit more.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I really do. And it's something that, yes, I've had to grow into this part of me and really learn that part of me and that part of humanness that
what is the part of humanness? Isn't part of humanness apologizing for your actions? You being a complete terror and nightmare to pretty much your entire family? No? Okay.
Experiences are different, even though they're the same, they're different. And just allow other people to have that experience, right? So yeah, I do think that that is part of my growth.
I'm curious. Yes, congratulations on that. What motivated you to grow? What usually people, I don't see, but a lot of times people hit rock bottom. They get so uncomfortable that it's either stay and suffer or grow. Was there?
I think this is the part that's so interesting. Okay, listen to this again. I'm going to tap this back because she had an out. And she actually, if she'd never contemplated it before, now is her time to think about it. The interviewer is asking her, hey, when most people have a metamorphosis like this, you've hit rock bottom. Like you've reflected and you're like, holy crap, I have been a complete a-hole. Let me change my ways. Is this a time for the worthy up sister to dig deep, go deep, and reflect? No, not Meri. She was never, listen to her answer. She never had to do that. That wasn't her. Everyone else has to do that when they completely change who they are, but not Meri. Okay, so listen to this.
Humanness that our experiences are different, even though they're the same, they're different. And just allow other people to have that experience, right? So yeah, I do think that that is part of my growth.
I'm curious. Yes, congratulations on that. What motivated you to grow? What usually people, I don't see, but a lot of times people hit rock bottom. They get so uncomfortable that it's either stay and suffer or grow. Was there a moment like that for you where you had to make that choice?
I don't know that it was one specific defining moment. Obviously, 10 years ago, everybody knows my dark moments in my life, right?
So she's going, so we already know what the 10, hold on, let me come over here. So we already know what 10 years ago the dark moment in her life is. She's talking about the catfishing incident. So after everything, you guys heard like just little snippets of what I brought up. All of the adults talking about how she was a terror to be around. The children, at least what, 4 or 5 of them, saying how much of a nightmare she was to be around. And she's going to bring up the catfishing incident. Someone that didn't have to live with her, that was not related to her, that didn't have to have day in and day out events with her. She's bringing up the catfishing incident, that's what enlightened her to change. Okay, let's keep going. Does that not put things into perspective? I think it does.
I had a really dark time in my life, but it had been going downhill for a while. Like it had. And I guess we could say that was maybe my rock bottom and I needed to figure out how to get out of that. But I really started, I would say probably 5 or 6 years ago. Like, you know, I I had a personal mentor, and I started doing, some business retreats and some personal retreats, and just like figuring me out. And this is before I was even talking about divorce, right? And I just needed to figure out who I was, what I wanted to do with my life, separate from my marriage that had, for all intents and purposes, had been non-existent. But I wanted to make my life as full as I could. And so I started investing in myself, like financially, education, reading. I don't read books.
So she talks about how she doesn't read books, she likes Audible, which is so interesting because how many of you think that Meri read Christine's book? I'm put a 1 in the chat if you think that Meri did read Christine's book. Put a 2 if you believe her that she did not. Hold on, because I need to put 1 because I call bull right. I think that she 1,000% did. We're going to go over that actually tomorrow. There's still more that we need to go over with this interview because she really, like, I just have to go there. She's really been pissing me off. Because once again, it's like Meri just keeps telling herself these lies. I don't know. It's either she's lying intentionally or you guys, I don't know. It's just irritating the hell out of me. Let me see. Okay, I see a whole bunch of 1s. Janny 1, Sharon, Melinda, Tracy, Maggie, Marie, Shell, Kathy. Kitty's undecided yet. Don't worry, we'll go over that. We'll go over that tomorrow. There's more that we need to go over, but no, girl, that's really not how it works. Also, what I really don't like is how Meri is saying that the reason that she's changing was because her marriage was falling apart. Most other people, if there was seriously 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 family members that came to me and it's like, your behavior, the way that you're acting makes me uncomfortable. It makes me sad. It makes me angry. I don't like being around you. I would seriously be very self-reflective. Like, there is obviously a serious issue with me. And the last thing that I would do is just want to improve my life. I would also want to improve theirs. And probably the first way to do that is by apologizing and acknowledging what happened. Not saying there's my truth and then there's your truth. No, acknowledge that there was the truth, that you were a complete a-hole to people, and maybe start there. Maybe start there. So in the end, Meri she clearly has a lot more work to do. I do. And I think that that work is acknowledging other people's pain and not minimizing it. So this brand that she's building, that's carefully curated, polished enough to keep criticism at bay. The truth is, like I said, real growth is hard. Real growth is relational, it's uncomfortable. It requires more than perspective shifting. And it requires more than you wearing a t-shirt that says you're changed. Okay? Actions are going to speak much louder than a t-shirt. This requires honesty, it requires humility, it requires accountability. Right? So as much as Meri wants us to believe that she's there, I'm calling bull because I can see the cracks. Can you? This avoidance of reading Christine's memoir, like, so be it. But actually, we'll get into that. I have so much more to go over, you guys. I just need to go over this first. There's a lot in the interview that pissed me the hell off. And we're going to get into that. Because once again, this is not the first person that's doing a rebrand. Do you guys remember who else I said is doing a rebrand? Can you guys put it in the chat? Who did I say is doing a rebrand? This is very, very similar to someone else. Let's see. Joni said she seems to be taking her anger out on the wrong people all the time. She should be happy that Christine found love and is doing well, right? Right? We're going to go over that next. Sharon said, I think the cult thinking counts on women lying to themselves about everything and protecting themselves from unhappy truth. I mean, yes and no, Sharon. I mean, yes, I do give that part grace, but Christine grew up in that environment. So did Janelle. And I don't hear any of the other children saying that they were nightmares and that aggressive is what did Peyton say? Hold on. What did Peyton say? Let me just go back. What did he say? Let me go back.
So not for sister-wise reasons, but out of respect for my mother reasons. I'm not going to go into details, but abrasive and kind of mean are not strong enough words. They are not aggressive enough words. From what? So I'm not.
Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so no, that's not happening with where was the comment? Hold on. There we go. Sorry. I think this is it, Sharon. They're not saying that about Christine and Janelle. You know what I mean? And that is where my grace lies very thin with that. I'm not going to blame that just on that. That's just being a crappy person. Do you know what I mean? Yes, Cody. You guys see? Yes, Cody. Birds of a feather, right? So listen, it's no it is no secret here. As far as my hierarchy of sister wife disdain, it pretty much goes. I love the entire family, and then the people that I really don't like. Number one on that list is Cody. Number two is Robin, and number three is Mary. I mean, that's just me. And then Janelle, Christine, the children, all of them are on my I love them list, but that's just me. I know that we will probably agree to disagree. I get it. But there's just a lot here that just is irking me. We're going to do a part 2 because there's just too much to get into also that irked me about her throwing shade at Christine. So yeah, we are going to be doing a part 2 tomorrow. I want to know what you guys have to say. Am I being delusional? If I am, be like, let me know in the comment section. That's totally fine. I want to hear your perspectives. And maybe I will address that as well in the live tomorrow because there's more. There is a part 2 coming, believe it or not. But I wanted to get this out because I just need to talk to you guys about it. I'm livid about this. So let me know. So far, Janica says, I feel the same way. Kathy said, Mary is annoying. I just, girl, like, please do yourself some favors. Like, and I know that you have an amazing support group, and obviously there's a lot of supporters that you do have, but you don't have this one. I'm sorry, and it's going to take a lot for me to be Team Mary. It's going to take a lot. I'm not saying it won't ever happen, but girl, you have some work to do, at least in my opinion. All right, so yeah, I do want to know what you have to say. So let me know in the comment section. Please like the video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Thank you to all my members. Thank you to the super chat, Darlene. I appreciate it. Thank you for supporting the channel. And you could do that in many, many ways. Oh, by the way, if you have not, you can also support the channel by getting Christine's audiobook. It is free. You give a 30-day free trial. You can listen to Christine say it in her own words. So please do that so you can subscribe. You can get the audiobook for free. Click the link. It's in the chat. It's going to be in the description. It'll be in the comment section. Watch some more of my videos. Obviously, super chats are much appreciated. Memberships are much appreciated. So thank you for keeping this little engine that could going. I so appreciate you guys. Can you believe it? Tomorrow's Friday. Yay. Yeah, so part 2 is coming. I just need to know if we should do it tomorrow night because I know a lot of people are busy on Friday nights. So either Friday or Saturday, we got to do part 2. But in the meantime, let me know if there's some like fire comments or even people opposed or that agree. I will probably feature that in tomorrow's video. Let me know what you have to say. Enlighten me, enlighten us. Thank you for coming. I love you guys. And I don't have anything for Mary. So what we're going to do is just play out the everybody hates Mary because that's the closest thing I have to a Mary ditty at the end, right? So let's just do Let me find that again. There it is. Okay, here we go. All right, you guys have a great night. Love you guys, and I will see you in the next one.
We really did struggle.
How did you guys butt heads? Was it over raising children? Was it over the basic how to run the household?
Everything.
I mean, like,
It was everything.
I would have an ulcer, stomach pain.
Anything, any little thing, the wrong loaf of bread, the wrong nylons.
It was like which laundry or which detergent should we use?
We in our family we use, and I could do an advertisement here for you. This dish detergent.
The kitchen was an issue when we all shared the same kitchen.
Yeah.
Should you put oranges in the fridge or not?
Just things.
At what time we cooked, what we cooked.
There was everything. It was like everything.
If we didn't clean up well enough, oh my gosh, everything had to be perfect. It was just very, very stressful.